There is something important that needs to be understood when we talk about justice, accountability, and forgiveness. Forgiveness is a spiritual matter. Forgiveness is between a person and God. But forgiveness does not erase the truth, and forgiveness does not replace accountability. Across faith traditions, repentance is not simply saying the words, "God, forgive me." True repentance requires something deeper. It requires honesty. It requires confession. It requires taking responsibility for what has been done. In many teachings, repentance begins with truth. Without truth, there can be no real confession. Without confession, there can be no true repentance. And without repentance, forgiveness becomes nothing more than empty words. That principle matters when we talk about the death of Kendrick Johnson, because if anyone truly knows what happened to Kendrick Johnson inside that gym, they may believe they can ask God for forgiveness and move forward with their lives. But forgiveness from God does not erase the need for truth here on earth. Justice in this world still requires evidence. Justice still requires answers. Justice still requires accountability. And that is why the evidence matters so much in this case. The investigative files, the autopsy reports, the forensic contradictions, the witness statements, the documents that have surfaced over the years. Evidence does not pray. Evidence does not speak through emotion. Evidence simply tells the story of what happened. But that story can only be heard if it is allowed to be examined. If someone truly knows the truth about what happened to Kendrick Johnson, then the path toward forgiveness begins with honesty. It begins with confession. And it begins with allowing the truth to be revealed, because real repentance does not hide from the evidence. Real repentance does not run from accountability. Real repentance brings the truth into the light, which is why we are once again asking those in positions of authority to do the right thing, to the court, to the judge who has the authority to allow evidence to be examined, to the members of the Georgia State Senate, to the members of the Georgia House of Representatives. We ask one simple thing: let the evidence speak. If the investigation was conducted properly, the evidence will show it. If the conclusions reached in this case were correct, the evidence will confirm it. But if there are contradictions, unanswered questions, or evidence that has never been fully examined, then the people deserve to know that as well. Because justice is never threatened by evidence. Truth is never afraid of transparency. And when a 17-year-old young man lost his life under circumstances that continue to raise questions, more than a decade later, the path forward should not be silence. The path forward should not be legal barriers. The path forward should be truth. So today, the message is simple. Forgiveness may belong to God, but justice belongs to the truth. And in the Kendrick Johnson case, it is time for the truth to be heard. Let the evidence speak. Justice for Kendrick Johnson is coming. Justice for Kendrick Johnson is inevitable. KJ's army will not stop until justice is served.
13 years, and the questions still echo through that gym. Not rumors, not opinions, evidence. Let the evidence speak. Wrote a mat in the quiet gym floor. 17 years old and the truth once more. They said accident closed the door quick, but the paperwork started showing cracks in the script. Autopsy report said nothing to see, but another doctor said something different to me. Bruising in the neck where pressure shouldn't be. Now the questions keep knocking like truth wants the key. They say sovereign immunity blocks the gate, but justice don't bend just because you're the state. Evidence don't lie, it just waits in the light for somebody brave enough to read it right. Let the evidence speak. Don't silence the truth. Every file, every record, every lie, every proof. Let the evidence speak. Let the people all see. Justice ain't afraid of transparency. Let the evidence speak. No more shadows and leaks. If the truth stands strong, let the evidence speak. Let the evidence speak. No more shadows and leaks. If the truth stands strong, let the evidence speak. Visceral gone and the story changed twice. Reach confusion that don't sound right. A trained investigator knows the difference clear. Organs and eye fluid don't disappear. Two autopsies telling two different tales. One say accident, the other one yells. Blunt force trauma ringing out alarm bells, but the system built walls where the evidence fell. Gym cameras broken and the man stood tall. Students fighting in the gym, nobody watching at all. Bullying caught on the cafeteria screen, but they say the system ran safe and clean. Truth don't sleep and the truth don't hide. Even paperwork speaks when you read between lines. And every contradiction leaves a mark in the case, like fingerprints truth can't erase. Let the evidence speak, don't silence the truth. Every file, every record, every lie, every proof. Let the evidence speak, let the people all see. Justice ain't afraid of transparency. Let the evidence speak, no more shadows and leaks. If the truth stands strong, let the evidence speak. Let the evidence speak, no more shadows and leaks. If the truth stands strong, let the evidence speak. This isn't about rumors. This isn't about theories. This is about the evidence. The autopsy reports, the Beedra files, the swore testimony, the contradictions. Justice doesn't fear evidence. Only those hiding from the truth do. Final verse. So open the files and unlock the door. Truth don't weaken when you ask for more. If the system stands solid, it won't collapse. But justice can't breathe under legal traps. Sovereign shields and courtroom games don't erase questions, don't erase names. 17 years old, still calling the truth. From the pages where the evidence speaks for proof. Let the evidence speak. No fear, no silence, no cover, just the truth. Just the truth.